What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a tech review of the new Oculus Rift S headset. So I've had this headset now for a little over a day. I've put in a few hours, but I'm no stranger to the Oculus Rift headsets. I've had them since the DK2. I've also got the CV1 headset and now this one. So why did I get this one when I have the CV1? Well, the big thing for me was the biggest latest change, and that is the inside-out tracking. So this is a tracking camera. You've got two down here, and you've got one on each side of the Oculus. And this is so you don't have to deal with the room sensor things anymore. So you used to have to place these, get an extra one if you want a room scale, so you need to like 3 of these placed around a room. They're not the most pretty things to sit around. They'd get bumped or whatever, and it was really annoying. And there was some occlusion issues that you would get from time to time as well. And so anyways, this sounded really cool to me. This has had a lot of mixed feelings and opinions as far as whether or not inside-out tracking is going to work. But if you ask me, has to be the future of VR headsets. So I think this is a move in the right direction. Now, the other major change is like the headband. I mean, like this is like the most hardcore headband yet. So to put this in perspective, let me show you the DK2 headset. Bang. This was your headset. It was just like a few straps and stuff, and it would like always fall down your head. And it was super annoying. Then we had the CV1 headset, which was a pretty good improvement, a little better, more rigid and stuff like that, but this still wanted to fall down your face. Like if I put my finger here, it still really badly wants to fall. Now with the latest, it's actually quite nice. If I put my finger on the headband, it actually wants to balance. Like it doesn't actually necessarily want to fall right down. Now if I tilt forward, it does want to fall down, but the balance feels a lot better. And playing with it, I actually really liked it. You have to actually pay attention. Like my natural tendency when I put on the Rift is to put it like a little high on my forehead, because then it kind of slowly falls down into place. Whereas this headset, I actually found myself kind of pulling it down to get things to line up again. So that's pretty cool. So so far I'm pretty happy. This like loosens and tightens. Then there's a button here on the bottom that extends or retracts this for glasses people. So mine's all the way out because I have glasses. It does not solve your problem. So I think over time these lenses will still get scratched if you're wearing glasses. You can buy prescription lenses to put in there. Or you can, I've got a 3D printer now, so I'm actually just going to print some of these, and then I bought some lenses from Zenny. If anybody's curious about that, you can ask in the description. I found somebody put something on Thingiverse. Pretty cool. Anyways, so yeah, so that's the headset. Now the controllers. So these are the new controllers here. Really, the biggest change from the CV1 is like this little hoop thing is now at the top of the controller, which has a subtle benefit that I'm not really sure this is what they were going for. But now when you put the controllers down, like you can actually set them down. Whereas this is one of the older, this is the CV1 controller. There was like no good way to put these down. Like you could sort of do that, but it still would like roll around. These just nice, bang, done. I love it. They're also a little fatter, so they feel better in your hand. So I think these are better. It's just when you have this over your face, I'm so used to finding the hoop and then like slipping my hand through the hoop. Like it's just become second nature for me. So with these, it's like the actual opposite. And I find myself getting very confused when I'm in VR, like trying to get these freaking on my hand, because I keep trying to do this and I'm like, wait, what's going on? So anyway, I just have to learn the new grips now, but otherwise everything's pretty much the same in terms of like the buttons and all that. No big difference. So now in Playtime, I use my VR headsets for really 2 major types of games. I play driving simulator type games, so it's like I'm just in a cockpit, or like Elite Dangerous, which again it's like a space fighting game, and again you're in a cockpit, so you're really not moving around that much. And then the other games that I play are like FPS games, like first-person shooter games, which is what really drove me to this headset, because the room scale stuff is very difficult with these first-person shooter games. So I've got a sunroom that I like to play in, but setting that sunroom up to be, I can't just dedicate that to a VR room. So having it with inside-out tracking sounded like a really cool option. So I've done that. I've played probably maybe 1 to 2 hours in Onward with the new Rift S. And I would say it's pretty darn good. I don't really have too many issues with that. The only thing that I've noticed is sometimes for whatever reason, like when you start lining up the two controllers, this one will get occluded, which is not too surprising because the tracking is right on the headset. So if you're like lining up your sights, you might actually occlude the controllers. Now with Onward, I mean, this is a brand new headset, and the way that they're doing the tracking with your hands and stuff is in a way that doesn't really suit this. It works, and it actually works way better than I thought it would already, but I know that they're working on updates already to fix that. Now comes really the biggest issue I've had with this headset, and that is this top camera. I'm using this in my sunroom, and my sunroom has 10 skylights. And as the sun is coming over, the sun shines through the skylights, and if it hits this, which it often does, depending on like where I'm standing in that room, if it hits that and blinds this camera, everything just goes haywire, and my hands are all over the place, which makes no sense. But if this gets blinded, it's over. Even though like my controller, like this isn't even seeing my controllers. My controllers are supposed to be seen by like these mostly, but for whatever reason, if this gets blinded, it's done. So that's kind of annoying, and again, I don't know if that's going to get fixed by the changes coming to Onward or not. But right now, I really just can't play when the sun is like right high in the sky, so that's kind of annoying. The other thing is like this kind of headset was kind of had just in general a lot of mixed reviews with the inside-out tracking, and then the screen. They actually changed to a slightly inferior screen type, and then also went from 90 hertz refresh rate to 80 hertz refresh rate. And these two changes had people up in arms and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. For a while, I was considering buying one of those, the Vive Pro, because I wanted a better, more crisp screen. But the price of the Vive Pro, with like the stupid base station and the headset and everything, just kind of, I wasn't really so sure about it. And but I will say, if I've bought the Vive Pro, I spent $1,000 on a headset, and this was the upgrade I got, I would be happy. The screen change here, first of all, there's way less screen door effect going on, and just the clarity of the screen is, I would call that a massive improvement. I'm super happy with it. I wouldn't say my picture quality or color or contrast or anything is noticeably worse. But immediately when I put that headset on, the first thing I noticed was, holy crap, this is super clear. You could read text. Edges were actually edges and not blurs. Huge improvement. I'm super excited about this. And at this price point, again, I just don't think you can do any better. Setup was a breeze. You really do just like plug it in, hit next. The controllers came paired, so like I didn't even have to pair the controllers. The room scale setup is awesome. So because we have these cameras, you can enable this like pass through, and that's another huge benefit. Is like, so like while I'm playing in room scale, if I just double tap this Oculus button, it turns on pass through, so I can see around my room that I'm playing in, and just see where I am, because sometimes you know you're a little lost, and the urge to pull off the headset and see where we are can be pretty strong sometimes, or like sometimes between levels or something, you might want to change where you're standing. And so anyway, just being able to double tap this, see where you are, double tap it back, get back in the game, awesome. And then setting up the room scale with this is also a breeze, because you just double tap this, or I'm sorry, when you set up the room scale, you don't have to hit this. You're just in the room, and then you just paint your area. And again, what a great idea. I mean, it's just so simple, and like resetting it up or changing things is unbelievably simple. I'm a huge fan. I'm sold on this thing. Like I say, the only issue I'm having is when sunlight comes through here, it just destroys this camera. But other than that, pretty cool. The refresh rate, honestly, nobody was getting 90 frames a second. If you say you were, stop it. I've been playing VR on The worst graphics card lately has been the 1080 Ti, but I've played it on the Titan RTX cards. I was never getting 90 frames a second, okay? So stop it. 80 frames a second is totally fine. If you're getting 80 frames a second, go buy like a Pimax 8K or something. Anyway, yeah, awesome headset. Really happy with it. Inside-out tracking, definitely the future. We have a few little things to change and to fix, and I'm really excited to see the changes that Onward puts out to see if that fixes my occlusion issues. And it might even fix this top sensor issue. That would be really nice when they change that, because that's what goes haywire, is like my character doesn't, but my hands get all messed up because of this top sensor. So we'll see how that goes, and maybe I'll post a follow-up at some point. But my initial thoughts on this headset is, yeah, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. So very cool. Very excited to continue playing with it. Very happy with it. So anyways, not sponsored in any way either. I will put a link in the description to the headset on Amazon though. And if you are interested, you can buy it through that link and I'll get a little bit of a kickback from Amazon. But I really just bought it for myself and I'm super happy. So anyways, those are my thoughts. I'll see you guys later.